Hey guys, Dr. Callahan here. Welcome to week 1 Friday. I know you guys are not in school on Friday, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this anyways, just so you can go ahead and post it so you can see what the warm-up's gonna be. So today we have 3 different questions. Number 1 is, if you're doing a Google search website, what should you type in to find it for Dr. Callahan's website? On what day does the assessment fall on? What if you didn't do so well on the assessment? And the third question is, why should you go to college? What is the difference in salary? Make a guess. And what are your plans for the weekend? So I have a video right here that you guys are welcome to click on and watch. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so question number 1, to get to my website, you just need to go ahead and Google Dr. Natalia Callahan, and then go ahead and take a look at the first thing that pops up. That's usually the website. Although for you guys, for this class, usually just use the Google Doc that I have, which is completely fine as well. Every Wednesday, you guys will have an assessment, but because we have a hybrid model, your quizzes will actually be generally probably every day right after the notes in class once they come back on Friday. And lastly, this is a breakdown question number 3. Lifetime earnings of, if you do not have a diploma, you will be making this amount, which is actually still a pretty big amount. I know you're looking at that, but if you do graduate high school, that amount goes up by 1/3. And that's a $315,000 difference in earnings over a lifetime. However, if you do go to college, college will earn you an additional $1 million over a lifetime. So is college worth it? In my opinion, I think so, especially if you're going to get that $1 million over the lifetime of working. Okay, so last time I saw you guys, we went over the differences of histogram, frequency chart, line plots, etc. Make sure you guys have this completed. And then I had you guys go ahead and do the assignments right here. If you look at the answers, you know, it's basically positive, negative correlations. You can pause it and review it on your own. Next one is the number of hours slept and your test score. I mean, generally, if you sleep better with more hours, you probably will perform better on the test. So the more hours you sleep, the higher the score you will receive. So it's a positive correlation. This one is about a person, how much water they consume or how much water they drink in terms of ounces, depending on the temperature outside. It's generally assumed that if it's really hot outside, like today, it's 97 degrees, you probably will drink more water. Whereas if it's the middle of December, you probably drink less water because you're not as dehydrated. And then here's the answer for positive, negative, or no correlation. I like this one, number 9, the number of siblings a student has and the grade that they have in math class. There's no correlation. If you have 5 brothers or sisters, it doesn't mean that you're really good at math, versus if you have 1 brother or sister, it means you're really bad at math. There's no correlation. Number 10 is an interesting one. It's a negative correlation. And the reason for that is that the age of the car and the values of the car. When you buy a brand new car, it's probably going to be around $35,000. Now, the minute you drive that car off the lot, you're going to lose about $2,000, even though you bring it back the very next day, maybe with 20 miles driven on it. So the older the car is, the value of the car depreciates or decreases. So that is a negative correlation. All right, so from last class, this is what you should have completed. Today, this is our brand new objective. We're going to talk about box and whisker plot with central tendency. You will need a calculator, although if you don't have one, that's okay. You can use your cell phone, or you can even go to Desmos, which is another really good website that I like to use, desmos.com, DSMOS.com. We're going to be creating a box and whisker plot with me. We're going to be doing a Beatles worksheet, because who doesn't love the Beatles? There is a Quizlet right here. This link will be posted on MS Team as well, in addition to being on the Google Docs. So if you're like, why can't I click on this link even though it's on a video? That's the reason why. So just go to the Google Doc and you'll be able to access it. And then I have a few more videos on upper quartile, lower quartile, interquartile range that if you need to watch, you can. They're only 2 and 5 5 minutes. I try to not make them super duper long for you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. You should have this. That is your guided notes in class right here. It's guided notes today, copy. And the next one right here is gonna be on the Beatles. And that is gonna be the assignment you're gonna be working on. You can ignore this part right here. Although if you want more practice, you're totally welcome to do it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Central tendency is mean, median, range, and mode. So mean is basically the average, and what you do typically is you add everything together, and let's say, for example, there are 10 people in our class, you add everybody up, and then you divide by the number of 10 peoples, because that's how many we have. Median is a number in the middle. If it is an even number, like there's only 2 numbers left in the middle, you add them and you divide it by 2, so you find the median. Mode is the one that occurs most often, and I didn't realize I had a typo right here, but that's okay. And if it appears just once, then the mode is none. The range is gonna be the biggest number minus the smallest number in your set of data. And in order for us to do the box and whisker plot, your box is going to consist of the median, so the middle number, or in this case, we call it Q2. Lower quartile. Lower quartile is the middle number on the left side of the median. We call that Q1. And then upper quartile, which is the middle number of the upper right side of the median, and that's gonna be Q3. And then so these 3 things is going to make up the box. So the box just looks like this rectangular box, okay? And your Q2 is gonna be right here. Q1 is gonna be on the right side. Or actually, just kidding. I made a little typo there. Q3 is going to be on the upper side. And the reason I said that is because Q3 is the right side of the medium, so it has a bigger number. And then Q1, which is going to be the left side, okay? And then your whisker is going to consist of the outliers. Outliers are going to be the smallest and the biggest number in the data. And your interquartile range is going to be your upper quartile, or Q3, minus your lower quartile, which is Q1. And then what those things, you can draw your box and whisker plot like right here. So there is your box, and that is your whisker. But we don't have any data yet, so we would have to go ahead and do that. Okay, so with this one, I did have you guys originally have people stand up based on the number of brothers and sisters that they have. Well, since I'm not in class, that's a little bit difficult to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and make up some data for you guys so we can get this done. So let me delete that. And rid of that, get rid of this. Sorry, it's taking a little bit, but I'm going as fast as I can. And you know, the good thing about this is you could just fast forward this. That's totally fine by me. That's totally fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some data then. Okay, so let's say, for example, if how many people in our class that will not have any siblings, let's say 2 people have 0 siblings, they're the only child. If you have 1 brother or sibling, let's say there are 3. Let's say if you have 2 siblings, there are 2 people in the class with 2 siblings. And let's do 4 people in the class, or actually 5, let's do 5 with 3 brothers or sisters. And let's do 1 if you have 1 sibling or 4 sibling, and then let's say 0 with 5 siblings, okay? So this is gonna be my data right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and look at this and rearrange them in order from smallest to biggest. Come on, what is going on with this? Give me 1 second. Add a little bit. There we go. Technical difficulty. Now what we're gonna do is gonna rearrange them. So we're gonna have 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5 threes, a 4, and 0 fives, okay? And actually I should not put a 0 there. I should put a 5 just to be consistent with the numbers I'm using. Okay, so this is our data. And what you're gonna do with your box and whisker plot is you first need to go ahead and find the median. The median is gonna be the number in the middle. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and see? Right there you have two numbers that are in between. So what's the number between a 2 and a 3? It will be a 2.5. So my median is going to be at 2.5. Then what you're gonna do is gonna look for the lower quartile, okay? Your lower quartile is the middle number on the lower left side. So for that case, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all the middle numbers on the left side of your median, and you're gonna find the middle number just using the left side. So let's cross it out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, right there in the middle. So your lower quartile is gonna be 1. We'll label that right there. Now we're gonna take a look at the upper quartile. Your upper quartile is gonna consist of all the middle numbers on the right side of your median. And so let's cancel them. 1, 2, 3 on the left, 1, 2, 3 on the right. There you go. Upper quartile is 3. Okay, now you're gonna find the interquartile range, which is gonna be your biggest number. Your biggest number here is 5, minus your semilost number, which is 0. So your answer is just gonna be 5. And lastly, if you're looking for the central tendency, you will need to find the average, which is the mean. And what you do with that is you add everything together. So let's add everything together. Here I have 9, 15, so that's gonna give me a 24. 2 and 2 is gonna give me a 4, so that's a 28. 1, 2, 3, so that is gonna give me a 31. 31 is the total number of siblings, brothers and sisters of everybody have in the class, but how many students do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So my N, which is a number of students, is going to be number 14, okay? So my mean is gonna be the sum over 14. Now, I don't have a calculator, so I'm just gonna do math the old traditional way, which you guys should be able to do this as well. So 14 goes into 31 twice, which gives me a 28. Subtract, I get a 3. Put a decimal, drop down 1 0. 14 times 2 is gonna give me another 28. Drop it down, 2, put down a 0, and then you put a 1. So then your average is gonna be approximately 2.21 siblings. That's my little girl. She's grabbing Play-Doh and yelping at me to open up her. Here you go, Bubby. All right, little girl. All right, now go away. All right, so now that I have these numbers here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these numbers and we are going to use these numbers to create the box and whisker. So I am gonna take this data and I am going to copy it over to the next page. And if you're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean copy it over to the next page? Just give me a second, you'll see in a second. So I'm gonna paste it over here. So now that I have that, I am going to go back to this. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and create it then. So here it is. Let's go ahead and create our box whisker plot. So using the data that we just found, you know that your median was 2.5. And before we even go any further, we gotta label this. You know your smallest number is gonna be a 0, your biggest number is a 5. So I'm just gonna put 0, and I can space it pretty far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since your middle number is 2.5, remember the box is gonna be created by the medium, lower quartile, upper quartile. So 2.5 is right here. My lower quartile is at 1, upper quartile is at 3, And those 3 data points are going to create my box. So here is my box. There you go, okay? Then with your whisker, it is gonna be the biggest number and the smallest number. So in this case, it's gonna be 0 and 5. So I'm gonna put a little dot right here at 0, draw my whisker, put a little dot at 5 right here to draw my whisker. And there you go. That is your box and whisker plot of the number of siblings students have in my class. All right, so now what I'm gonna have you guys do is pause the video. You're gonna create a scenario with 8 different numbers, and I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range, and then do the box and whisker plot. Or excuse me, yeah, do that. So what kind of scenario involves 8 different numbers? I don't know, you could do the age of people in class. You can do somebody's height. Just need 8 people. You can even do their grade point average if they're willing to tell you what it is. Number of relationships. That's probably a lot more interesting than somebody's age that they've had since, I don't know, like whenever you guys start dating, maybe in 6th grade or 7th grade. So yeah, so that's what you're gonna do first. When you're done with that, use the same data above, create your box and whisker plot by finding the following. So make sure you find the medium, lower quartile, upper quartile, biggest number, smallest number, and then just plot it right below. All right, so then you have a table right here that is going to be asking you to do this on a separate piece of paper. You can pause the video if you would like and find the following. Find the mean, median, Q1, which is upper quartile, lower quartile, the max, the min, and the interquartile range. 2, display the data, graph the data using a histogram or a box and whisker, and do they appear to be any outliers? Explain. And pause the video if you don't want to see the answer just yet. But these are my answers right here for the following. Your box and whisker plot should look something like this. Oops, let me go back one more time. Here we go. And that is basically it. So that's how you do a box and whisker plot. I'm so sorry, that little girl is like crying in the background. Stop it, Emma. Emma, here, hold this. There you go. You'll see pictures of her when I get to class. All right. Other than that, you guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week back. And if you need additional assistance, please feel free to email me at incallahan@washowschools.net. Bye.